everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside. We're ready to go with another big week. Championship Wrestling coming up, Davey.
Oh, I tell you, we have a single match coming up today in which Wayne Ferris will be going against the Dutchman, Dutch Mantell. The possibility of a TV title match. Which,
yeah, that's significant. We'll get into that a little later.
All right, but the big one, the main event coming up today, six-man tag team match. You will see the King, Jerry Lawler, Steve Kern, Roy Rogers on one side of the ring. On the other, it's going to be the Golden Boy, Chick Donovan, Kevin Sullivan, and Jim Dalton. Should be some great action in a six-man match.
Can you imagine that? And we hope maybe that the way it is that we're going to have ourselves plenty of time for that six-man tag action match. And it's going to be something I think that you are going to enjoy immensely. So you're going to have to be with us all the way through Championship Wrestling. We're going to be back and ready to go with that opening bout for you coming up right after we take time out for this. The TV champion and the co-holder of the AWA Southern Tag Team titles here with us. I would say before we start talking to Kevin, and obviously have no fear of them hearing what I've got to say, the fact that while your comments have been that you've been giving young fellows breaks in terms of getting title shots in there, the promoters have decided that you have been ducking some of the major talent. You have refused to give a return match to Dutch Mantell, whom you took the title away from. And since that time, you have yet to face him in the ring with the title on the line in there. So they finally have said, Kevin Sullivan, let's get in line here and stop all this pretense of giving young fellas. You're going to have to face one of the major ranked contenders for the TV title.
See, Lance, I'm not going to get on you because you're a Southerner and you're trying to do the best job you can, but obviously there's a prejudice here. The people know that I'm fair. I've been down the line. I've been giving everybody a shot. You know, before we get onto this, I want to apologize for something that happened last week on TV. You know, the match with Kern, it got out of hand, and I'll be the first one to admit it. I was appalled when Eddie Mullen, the promoter, got knocked down. And I was really embarrassed and ashamed because if I was Eddie Mullen, what I do right now, he got knocked down twice. What I do right now is fine. No, I do more than that. I suspend Steve Kern from pushing him down twice.
Steve Kern.
Yes, you saw it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Lance.
I did see it. You bet I saw it.
Okay, now listen, Dutch Mantell. You know, you've been around here crying and screaming. And, you know, last week I wanted to wrestle Jerry Lawler. He didn't show up. I'm not saying that he's gutless. I'm not saying that he's a coward. I'm just saying that he didn't show up. You know, I was here to wrestle him. Now, here it is. Dutch Mantell's, you know, he's been chasing me. Dutch Mantell, I can tell you one thing. I don't have to give you a TV title match. But out of the goodness of my heart and out of the sportsman that I am, I'm going to tell you one thing. I will give you a title match if you can beat the second greatest wrestler in the world today, and that's pretty boy Wayne Ferris. And if you can beat him on TV today, I will definitely give him a TV title match. In fact, I'll go one thing further, Dutch Mantell, because I know you're a gutless coward and you can't beat Wayne Ferris because, like I said, he is the second greatest wrestler in the world today. If you can hold him to a draw, Dutch Mantell, I will give you the chance of a lifetime, and I will wrestle you for the TV title.
Obviously, this is the first greatest wrestler in the world.
Well, Lance, I'll tell you one thing. You do know and understand talent when you see it. Thank you very much.
I would also like to say that this sounds like another thing like the Steve Kern incident in there, where you wanted to take Kern last week after he had had a very difficult match right here on TV. Now you're trying to get Dutch Mantell with, and there's no question, I don't like his tactics, a very difficult, tough wrestler.
I'll tell you this, Dutch Mantell, you don't have to have the TV title match today. If he wants to wait 6 months, I'll be glad to wait 6 months and give him a shot.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, let's get ready for it.
Lance, I'm going to help you commentate because I've heard Dave stumble over some words, and you need a little class in the show. I will help you.
Don't do me any favors. Let's get ready for this match between Wayne Ferris and Dutch Mantell. Davey?
All right, we're just about ready to go here. Everybody's up on ringside. This is going to be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Introducing from Memphis, Tennessee, 235 pounds on the left of your screen, Wayne Ferris with his manager, Jimmy Hart. Going against him from Oilcroft, Texas, 224 pounds, Dutch Mantell. One fall, 15-minute time limit. The referee, Jerry Calhoun.
Yeah, before it ever happened.
Yeah, look at Mantell attacking Wayne Ferris, but Wayne's right on the ball there. Look at Mantell. There he is.
The voice of Kevin Sullivan, our guest commentator, close friend of Wayne Ferris, member of the family.
The first family.
Yes, okay, the first family.
Look at this. Look at Mantell. Look at the tactics.
I see him. He's still in the ring.
Look at what he's doing.
Here.
You know what? Right there, did you see the great wrestling move Wayne Ferris made? He was driving his head into Dutch Mantell's fist, weakening his fist. It was a great offensive move.
I noticed that you failed to mention that Mantell, despite the unreasonable demand of him having to take Wayne Ferris, there was no mention of the fact that Mantell had the guts and the determination to say, yes, I will take Ferris, then I want Kevin Sullivan. So you know what kind of hatred he's got for you.
Let me say you something, Lance. Is that gut, or is that not having any brains?
Well,
there's the truth, doesn't he? He doesn't have a brain in his head.
Mantell with an armbar on Ferris. He's got him in a position now where he can move back. Ferris, good move. He turned around to release the pressure on it.
There, he took him right over.
But Mantell holds on.
See, Wayne's idea right there, that's great defensive wrestling. What he's doing is, right now, Mantell's wearing himself out. Wayne is just waiting for the opportunity. We told Wayne in the back, we said, Wayne, you need a workout. Go more than a minute with this man. Go more than a minute. Get a good workout today. You know, we like to keep in great shape, and look at the pretty boy. Look at him. Look at him. He's got everything in the control. Look at him. He's going to slam him, drive right to the mat.
Mantell still hanging on to that arm. He bars it, turns him over into the mat as Dutch Mantell.
You know, Lance, I don't want to say anything, but right there, he was holding his tights when he slammed him. That's why he held on.
Kevin, he was now. We're both sitting over here. I can see the same
Lance,
thing.
I don't have glasses on. You do. I don't want to say anything about your eyesight. Of course it's an illegal hold. He shouldn't be slapping him in the head, man. Tell if you ever did that to me, I'd punch your lights out. What did he do right there, Lance? Will you please tell me? We're both looking at it.
Oh, okay. He pulled the hair.
Thank you very much, Lance.
I never told you that Mantell was a pure wrestler. He's just a tough guy who, at least in the thing that we're maintaining, deserved a shot, a return title match. That's all I'm trying to say. Out of the way, and Ferris crams.
Look at it, illegal hold again, illegal hold.
Mantell drops with a lower leg.
Get up, Wayne!
Ferris, and Ferris kicks out at two. Mantell thus far has dominated the action. Ferris,
on a slanted point of view, don't you put your finger at me, boy.
All he's saying is, you're next.
Let me say, on a slanted point of view, he may be dominating the action, but all the wrestling fans out there can see that Wayne Ferris has everything under control. Our game plan is right there. Mantell is wearing himself out. Look at this. He's expending energy.
Don't hold your breath till he wears himself out. Mantell is in condition. You're in condition. I make no bones about that.
Thank you. I mean, it's obvious that I'm in condition.
Dutch Mantell. Front bar on that arm, and there's Ferris facing him straight away. Backs him into the ropes. That'll call for a break. And instead of a break, he's taken off.
Look out!
Leapfrog. Big shoulder, and Wayne Ferris goes down.
Hold him by his hair. Hold him by his hair. Jimmy Hart. Jim.
4 minutes passed with 11 minutes to go, and I would remind the championship wrestling fans that Kevin Sullivan said he didn't even have to beat him. All he had to do was hold him to a draw to get the title shot, which will take place today on TV. A draw, that's what you said. You just made the statement right here, and don't try to back up on it.
I'm not backing out of anything.
The comment was made. He didn't have to beat him. All he had to do was hold him to a draw. We've been 4.5 minutes now. He's got 10.5 to go, and he can get at least a draw out of it.
Wayne, let's go, Wayne! Come on, fire up, Wayne! Come on, get him up! I'm not backing out of anything. I've never backed out of anything in my life. Wayne, please come on, Wayne!
Big forearm coming in there with Ferris on that. Mantell slips him, takes him back into the blind position, too. But Ferris, a big guy now, bear that in mind. He outweighs Dutch by about 20 pounds, 18 pounds.
And he's the second best looking wrestler in this area.
Okay.
Probably in the world today.
Dutch Mantell hanging in with a reverse face lock on Wayne Ferris. Now hooks him back, holds the arm.
I'm not worried. I'm never
Kevin
worried.
Sullivan trying to
I'm not afraid
get
of that
Jimmy
Dutch
Hart
Mantell,
to
that's for
spur
sure.
Ferris
Me be
on.
afraid of Dutch Mantell. Are you kidding me? Come on, Wayne!
Up in the air. Ferris stands straight up with him. The pretty boy.
That's it. It's all
Big
over.
move by Ferris.
Cover him, Wayne. Cover him. It's all over, Jimbo. It's all over, brother.
That reverse power slam as Wayne Ferris went straight up with Mantell.
Did you see that?
Bang
Mantell
him
rammed his
down.
gut into his boot illegally.
That was the fist. The referee called it right there.
Yeah, what Mantell was driving his
previous-
gut into his fist, trying to weaken him.
Yeah.
That away. Come on, pretty boy.
6
Right
minutes
up,
past.
Wayne.
We've got 9 minutes to go.
I'm not
It's
afraid
a
of
one
him,
fall,
Mantell.
15-minute match, just as all of the TV title matches are. One fall, 15. Wayne Ferris now
This is it. Suplex
going
him,
for a
Wayne.
suplex.
Great wrestling move.
Slam.
First family move.
Mantell
That's the
down.
first family move.
And
That's it,
Ferris,
brother.
with his best
That's it. 1,
offensive
2,
efforts,
3.
gets 2.
Oh, the referee was slow on that. Tell him, says you count to 3. I know he's a southerner, but he can count to 3.
Count. Over the shoulder, reverse face lock. Ferris hanging.
Lance, let me ask you a question. I know these referees go to a referee officiating school, and I know he's a southerner. And I know he's a southerner. Can he count to 3? Didn't they teach him to count to 3? He had him down on a
Count to
suplex.
3 if he can hold his shoulders.
He had him.
down,
What do you
that's
mean?
all.
He could have. I'm not afraid of Dutch Mantell. I'll tell you that.
Mantell coming up.
Come on, Wayne. Beautiful move, Wayner. See how the pretty boy has stayed on right now. He's just game plan is going
Ferris
fine.
at the moment with things going his way, hanging Mantell down on the mat. We're getting closer to the time limit on it as we back down, approaching the 8-minute mark remaining.
Yeah. Oh, what I did say that all he had to do is.
Get a draw,
No,
yeah, that's
no,
what you
no.
said, Kevin. That's exactly what
I'm
you
not
said.
afraid of him. I'm not afraid of him. I mean, if he's so tough, he should be able to beat him.
Well, he doesn't have to beat him
I
to
mean,
get
that
the
ain't
title
such a
back.
big thing, huh? Hold him to a draw. You got him, Wayne! Get him! See, Wayne's in control.
Kevin Sullivan, in case you just tuned in, on our guest commentator's chair over here. Mantell has had to put up with the unreasonable stipulation that he beat Wayne Ferris in order to get a title shot today. Double knockdown as they're both down on the canvas.
Get up, Wayne! Please, get up!
Jimmy Hart out
Get
of
up,
his
please,
chair.
brother! Come on, pretty boy! There's no unreasonable thing about it.
Okay.
I'm fearing you know.
8 minutes down, 7 minutes to go, so we're
Give it
past
to
the
him, brother!
halfway
End
mark.
it! Oh, no! Wayne,
Hey,
get
Kevin,
up!
sit down.
Get up, Wayne!
You're not out here to get involved. Dutch Mantell.
That's
coming up
illegal!
off the canvas.
That's illegal!
Mantell with his fist pounding away on him. Drops him down on the knee with that atomic drop. Wayne Ferris in trouble. Mantell storming in. As we come into the latter half of this preliminary match before the TV title match. Mantell with it. Come here, Kevin Sullivan. Come here. Kevin Sullivan jumps out of the chair. He runs up to the ring. Here comes Roy Rogers across the way. Sullivan jumps off, slams his knee right into Rogers' head. As he came off the turnbuckles, Rogers down. Kevin Sullivan, Wayne Ferris, now Jimmy Hart has been, they're all pounding on Mantell up there as the referee is trying to get him stopped. Sullivan, Ferris, and here comes Steve Kern in. They grab him as he comes through the ropes. Jimmy Hart up on the ring apron. Kern ducks under the double clothesline. Nails Sullivan with a forearm. Puts Ferris down. Mantell up. Sullivan down on the floor. Mantell and Steve Kern immediately go goes over to Roy Rogers to check his condition. Sullivan came off that top turnbuckle in there, nailed Rogers right in the head, Dave, with that knee, caught him on the side of the throat, or caught him right in the head in there as he pounded him down on it, as Roy Rogers was trying to stop the efforts of Kevin Sullivan to interrupt the match. It was a stop match as Sullivan hit it, and Roy Rogers hit it about the same time, the ring in there, and the bout is going to be stopped. They're taking Roy Rogers out of here as Steve Kern with Mantell, Jerry Calhoun trying to take Roy Rogers as gently as they can in there. Boy, I'll tell you, Sullivan's knee caught him right up in the head or on the side of the neck. I couldn't, right on there. Yeah. Well, the match was stopped. We're going to have to take time out right now. We'll be back in just a moment. Action coming back in the ring here on Channel 3 in just a moment. Do want to remind you, we'll tell you about Louisville in just a second. Thursday night, June 25th, Harrodsburg, sponsored by the high school track team. More about that later. Friday the 26th in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Thursday, July the 16th, Paoli, Indiana. Now, Tuesday night, Louisville, the Garden, Action, pile driver match. The Nightmares and Jimmy Hart in a handicap match against Jerry Lawler and the Dream Machine. Jerry, this is one where the pile driver is going to be wide open and legal.
That's right. And what it is, Lance, is payback time, because, you know, I know that Hart instructed his men to use the pile driver on Bill. Well, having Hart in the ring is just a little bit of icing on the cake, because we got now the pile driver is legal. As a matter of fact, it's the only way the match is going to end, when a man gets a pile driver put on him. And Hart, we're going to get you or one of those Nightmares, and wherever Bill is, you know he's hurt right now, but he's going to have a smile on his face Tuesday night when I get on that phone and tell him that we left one of you jerks sticking head first in that mat in Louisville.
Look out, Jimmy Hart. By golly, that isn't all either. Southern Tag Team title match. Sullivan, Ferris defending against a formidable team. Steve Kern and Dutch Mantell. Steve, the AWA title's on the line.
You know, this is going to be my first opportunity for a title match, and I couldn't think of a finer man to have on my side, the Dutchman. So I know that I'm going to give him 100%, and I know he'll do the same for me. So we might have a surprise for that tag team title.
I am looking forward to seeing Mantell and Kern together against Sullivan and Ferris.
You may be looking forward to it, but I don't think Ferris and Sullivan are looking forward to it. Sullivan, I can't get you in the ring by yourself, so I got to take the next best thing. I got to get you in there with Wayne Ferris. Now, you can run and hide all night long, but I don't think it's big enough for you to run out the door, because I'm going to catch you because I'm faster than you are. Me and Steve are going to step in the ring with one thing in mind. That's take the Southern Tag Team belts away. And Sullivan, after I've embarrassed you, I'm going to take back my TV title, too.
My golly, there it is. Tuesday night, Louisville Gardens. You better believe big action there. We're going to take an opportunity to check on Roy Rogers. I want to get into this tape, though. Chick Donovan and Roy Rogers had a match that turned out with an interesting twist on it. Take a look. Roy been staggered a little. And he is, I don't think, in full possession right at the moment. He has really been rattled pretty hard, but by the same token, he's given it back to Chick Donovan, and Donovan now has him down. He's kicking away on the head of Roy Rogers. That'll keep him dazed. Yeah, his eyes look glazy in there now. On the ropes, and Donovan just manhandling him around, full Nelson. Rogers trying to shake out of it. Donovan pouring the strength to him. Back at the ropes. Roy Rogers trying to fight his way back with Donovan, but Chick maintains the upper hand over on the ropes, and Calhoun trying to break him up. Chick Donovan pounds at Roy. And down goes Jerry Calhoun as Donovan throws Roy Rogers off. Tojo Yamamoto comes up. And he wails Chick Donovan. Rogers gets a cover on him. 1, 2, 3. 14:46. And after all of that beating that Donovan gave him, Rogers, thanks to Tojo Yamamoto, got a pin on Chick Donovan. Roy heading back to the dressing room. He staggered around as Yamamoto was taking a swing at Rogers. And he hit Chick Donovan. So in 14:46, the winner, Roy Rogers, sensational victory. We'll be back in just a moment. Not to take a thing away from Roy's victory in that particular one, no question about it, that Yamamoto's appearance on the edge of the ring certainly aided the win by Roy Rogers. By the way, we checked on Roy, and he still has not completely come around in here. The Golden Boy, Chick Donovan, and we were just reviewing the tape right there, Chick, in the incident where Rogers got a victory over.
I am so embarrassed, Mr. Russell, about these people, everybody in the whole world seeing that tape. I am also appalled. Ever since I've been here, I go in the arenas, people are fighting all over the place. They're fighting in the balconies, they're fighting on the stage, they're fighting everywhere. People running in the matches, hitting people in the back. It makes me so appalled I want to scream. But, baby, I have too much class to scream.
The situation with Yamamoto, he obviously cost you the match.
You are correct. You know, about a month ago, Tojo Yamamoto called me at my house in good faith, and knowing the man's background and his ability to manage wrestlers all over the country, that I accepted what he told me in my heart. He said he was going to make me a champion. He promised me matches with Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee. He promised me the world, and I was ignorant enough to believe it, Mr. Russell. Ignorant. I'll never make that mistake again. So I come to Memphis, and well, you know what he does? Nothing. He is a pain in my pocketbook. He never gave me a match except with people like Tim Leonard. Of course, Tim Leonard is an up-and-coming wrestler. He is a formidable opponent. But I wanted the main event, but he never got me there. But Mr. Yamamoto, Mr. Japanese, Mr. Orient, or whatever you are, one thing I have for you, and I want to tell all you people the same thing. You have been relieved of duty, my friend. You are fired. In other words, I never want to have another thing to do with you, baby, and you get no severance pay.
Yamamoto no longer your manager.
No longer. I mean, no longer, Mr. Russell. One thing I want to say, I have a contract and it's open for any individual or individuals who would like to contact me and can afford to keep me up in the style that I'm accustomed to.
Okay, Chick Golden Boy Donovan, the announcement that Tojo Yamamoto has been relieved of the managerial duties with Chick. He's on his own now. We'll be looking to see him in action.
I am a man of my own until there is enough cash comes to me that I may make another decision. There's one more thing, Mr. Russell. I can be sassy or I can be nasty. Beat me if you can.
Okay, Chick Donovan, and we'll be looking at the Golden Boy a little bit later on. There was a match that took place, and I've been very excited to see Steve Kern in this area. I think this has an interesting one. I want you to watch the action that took place in a bout with Big Jim Dalton on the ringside, in which Kevin Sullivan and Jimmy Hart carried on some very interesting conversation during the match. Take a look at this. Here you go, John. Action underway, and I mean very quickly, too, is Steve Kern with Jim Dalton. Dalton, a big guy. He comes in about 241. Steve Kern at 225. What a real athlete you're looking at right here. Kid with a super, super reputation, and boy, he has lived up to every minute. What is this? Kevin Sullivan and Jimmy Hart out at ringside. Hart pulls out a wad of dough, and Sullivan trying to give Dalton some money to break his arm or something. I'm just judging by the gestures. Hart and Sullivan, Hart the bag man with the money, and Sullivan trying to get Dalton. Okay, Dalton comes back in with a new purpose. That's really admirable, I'll tell you. And he's going to find it a little harder to earn that money than he had anticipated. Stung him with a forearm. 2, 3, got him. It took a total of 1 minute and 13 seconds. Yeah, but 14 seconds after he jumped back in the ring in there. That is obviously what tried to happen down there with Steve Kern, was Sullivan trying to get him hurt in there. First, I want to ask you, is there any additional word on Roy back there, Steve?
Well, he still hasn't come around yet, Lance. You know, that's just the kind of thing Kevin Sullivan's done to me.
He's afraid of you. There's no question about it. Or he wouldn't been out there trying to get Dalton to break an arm or something.
Well, I'm not going to even make any excuses for that, and I'm not going to try to figure out what Roy had in his mind when he came out here. But I just think it was trying to protect Dutch's back, and I'll just say this. You know, a lot of people are wondering just exactly where I'm coming from here. And I'm going to tell you, Lance, right now, that before I leave this area, I want all the people to understand that I don't do this very often. But when it comes necessary, I'm going to put an oath on my dad. And that's the most serious thing in my life, is my dad, that I will rid Kevin Sullivan of this area, maybe permanently. And when I get done, Kevin Sullivan will never wrestle again.
Hey, Steve, okay, well, we will be looking at Steve in action a little bit later. Right now, let's take time out. We'll be back to it in just a moment. What is this guy doing now? Jimmy Hart coming out with Kevin Sullivan, Wayne Ferris, and Jim Dalton. This really had... what is this? Roy Rogers, unable to wrestle. We, concluded that that was the case. So the third man over there, listen to that one. And Dutch Mantell. Okay, yeah. Dave, we're ready for the introduction.
It's going to be an expiration of time match, 6-man tag action, and on the left of your screen, at a total weight of 692 pounds, it is going to be from Hollywood, California, Chick Donovan, from Boston, Massachusetts, Kevin Sullivan, and from Oklahoma, Jim Dalton. Going against them, total 674 pounds, from Tampa, Florida, Steve Kern, from Oil Trough, Texas, Dutch Mantell, and from Memphis, Tennessee, the King, Jerry Lawler. Match to the expiration of time, 6-man tag. Your referee, Jerry Calhoun.
Well, I'll tell you, Davey, on paper, this absolutely looks like one of the best matches we have had in a long, long, long time on championship wrestling. We have got some explosive power on both sides of the ring. Jim Dalton, a veteran who is a tough son of a gun. Golden Boy Chick Donovan, very strong, powerful, hard wrestler, kind of hard to figure out. He doesn't seem to have any friends among anybody anywhere. Yeah. And Kevin Sullivan, the muscle man, the Boston battler, with Jimmy Hart, the mouth. Here we go, bell time, we're off and running.
All right, love 6-man tag matches anyway, and especially with a lineup like we've got right here now. Steve Kern against Dalton to get things started. Dalton back to the corner. Dutch Mantell let him have a forearm while he was back there. Dalton, a veteran out of Oklahoma. Steve Kern had him down on the mat. He's got a headlock on him, and he still has the headlock. Dalton tried to roll the shoulders down, get a quick 3 count out of it. Steve Kern holding Dalton's hand away from the tag. Now the tag is made, and here's the Golden Boy, Chick Donovan. In the battle, Steve Kern. Donovan back to the corner for a little conference with Jim Dalton. Donovan trying to get Steve off his feet. Steve converted it, had the shoulders down very briefly. As Chick Donovan on the mat, Donovan squirming. He's trying to get to that corner. He does. And the tag is made. Jim Dalton will be coming back in. Kevin Sullivan and Steve Kern exchanging words. Steve Kern makes the tag, the Dutchman. I tell you what, Kevin Sullivan looking across that ring, seeing a couple of guys, the Dutch Mantell and Steve Kern, that would really like to get at him. The King, with the right hand, puts Mr. Dalton down on the mat. Comment or two along the way from Jimmy Hart, Kevin Sullivan's manager. Lawler challenging Golden Boy Chick Donovan. Donovan started to wade into the middle of it and then backed away. On the ropes, referee Jerry Calhoun. Oh, got a good, nice, clean break. Donovan popped Lawler, and Lawler returned the favor. High in the air, the backdrop, and Donovan hit hard. Here's Steve Kern back in after the tag. 2 minutes, 45 seconds into the action. First fall action. Expiration of time match. Kern sliding the feet off either side of the Golden Boy's face. Donovan dropped across the knee. Kern with a cover. Counts to 2. 2 count is all he gets. Donovan's head rammed into the corner. Here comes Dutch Mantell. Dutch in after the tag. He grabs the Golden Boy, trying to keep him away from the tag on Kevin Sullivan. Yes. Kevin Sullivan getting down away from the apron as Donovan was stretching for the tag. Sullivan refused the tag. Jimmy Hart said yes, his back severely injured due to heroic action earlier today. Sullivan refused the tag. Chick Donovan back in there again. Dutch Mantell body slams him. Here comes Lawler. Okay. That's what the crowd says. What do you think? They said, yeah, do it. Across the way, Lawler. Dutch Mantell, Steve Kern, all yelling at Sullivan. Come on, get in here. Make a tag, Sullivan. You see Kevin standing there on the far left. Jim Dalton is the one who took the tag. Sullivan has not been in there for the entire match. And we are 4 minutes, 45 seconds into the action. Dalton with a headlock on Lawler. Sullivan jumps in after the tag. Neil and Jerry with those right hands. Lawler gets the tag, and here comes Steve Kern. Sullivan can't get to the corner quick enough to make a tag on anybody. And he makes the tag on Chick Donovan. Sullivan leaps over the apron down onto the floor, consoled by Jimmy Hart down there, while it's Chick Donovan and Steve Kern in the ring. Donovan got that headlock. Kern breaks out of it. Donovan uses the rope to spring. Whoa! Nailed by Steve Kern with a forearm. Chick Donovan in trouble over in the corner of Lawler, Mantell, and Kern. Lawler makes the tag. Dutch Mantell drives Donovan down to the mat. Donovan has really taken a beating during this match. Jimmy Hart down there alongside the apron yelling, "Come on, Chick, get up." He did. He made the tag. It's Jim Dalton back in there. Dalton with the forearms across the back of Dutch Mantell. Dutchman in the corner. Dalton makes the tag on Chick Donovan. It's been Donovan and Dalton all the way, except for about a 5-second appearance by Kevin Sullivan. Mantell against Dalton. Dalton fires that right fist. 7 minutes gone. First fall action. Dalton and Chick Donovan combining against Dutch Mantell. Trying to fight his way to the corner. What he needs to do is go over there and get a tag. Donovan with a double chop across the back. Slowed him down considerably, though. Dalton grabs Dutch from outside. Suplex by the Golden Boy, Chick Donovan, count of 2. Very close to a 3 count. Donovan makes the tag, and here is Kevin Sullivan. Dutch Mantell being pounded severely by Dalton and Donovan, but he's finally got it in there. Over the top rope. Dutch Mantell hoisted over the top rope by Kevin Sullivan. Sullivan now safely away from the ring by about 35 feet, says he jumped over the top rope. Then he turns and heads back to the dressing area. He was hoisted over that top rope by Kevin Sullivan, no doubt about it. At that point, referee Jerry Calhoun had no choice. Automatic disqualification when the wrestler goes over the top rope. 8 minutes, 11 seconds, and boy, some kind of action in that.
I got to tell you, that Sullivan is a major league excuse maker, man. I'm telling you, and he will make you sound like he has absolutely got it just legitimately. And so, well, anyhow, another story. Plenty of time for lots of action in this expiration of time. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you are too, and we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I want to remind you again before we get into the complete card. Tuesday night in the Gardens, Thursday night the 25th, Harrodsburg, sponsored by the high school track team. Matches are going to be held on the football field. Of course, the gym is available in the event of rain. There will be a big 8-man match plus 8-man tag plus 4 other matches in there. The Dream will be there. Dundee will be there. Mantell, Rogers, bunches of them going to be right there in Harrodsburg. And Thursday night, July the 16th, Paoli, Indiana. More about that later on. Tuesday night, the Gardens. Listen to this. Jim Dalton takes on Coco Ware. Sonny King against the Golden Boy, Chick Donovan. Then the big pile driver match. Jerry the King Lawler, the Dream Machine, against the Nightmares and Jimmy Hart. In a handicap pile driver match, that will be a scuffle. You better believe it. Steve Kern and Dutch Mantell will have a chance to see them together for the first time in a title challenge against Kevin Sullivan and Wayne Ferris, with, of course, Jimmy Hart at ringside. Don't miss it Tuesday night in the Garden. Oh, yeah. Seems to me same tune, second verse.
Second verse,
yeah.
Sure
Jumped over the top rope. We heard it, Kevin. We heard it.
Well, he was helped over the top rope. Oh, Lawler headed after Jimmy Hart over here. Before we get action underway in the second fall. First fall went to Mantell, Steve Kern, and Jerry Lawler. Disqualification when Kevin Sullivan, in spite of what he says, threw Mantell over the top rope.
I love the action, but I wish they'd keep
in the ring.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, first ball, one side up. Lawler, Mantell, and Kern on the disqualification. Here we go. Second fall of action, expiration of time. Mantell and the Golden Boy opening up. The Dutchman over the top as the Golden Boy goes under, grabs the arm, hip toss, takes him over. Going for a front face lock, and look at the Dutch driving right in there. But by golly, I'll tell you, Donovan, he is tough, rough. He's got plenty of weight behind him in there, and he is some strong. Jim Dalton takes over the tag from the Golden Boy, and Dutch continues that whirlwind attack on Dalton. Big body slam. Down goes Jim. He comes up and makes the tag. Nope, he's not going in there with Mantell. So the Golden Boy has to take the tag from Dalton.
That was the situation throughout the first fall. Now Sullivan jumps in. Chick Donovan been working on Mantell. He got out of there quickly, though. Sullivan did.
Tag right back to Dalton, and Jim Dalton back in with Mantell. His Dutchman started, and he stayed in. That's going to be a disqualification.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Dutch threw him over the top rope.
Yeah, he must have seen that somewhere else, Kevin Sullivan, as a disqualification. Terry Lawler over saying exactly what was happening. Lawler saying you had the wrong man in there to begin with. But what it actually does, it evens the thing up. The referee calling him the way he sees him. The first one, a disqualification over the top rope. Same thing with the second one in there, and so that means that it is one fall apiece, Davey.
Yeah, the time on the second fall was 1:06.
1:06, and Sullivan and his teammates, the Golden Boy Chick Donovan and Jim Dalton, end up with a victory courtesy of Dutch's driving Dalton right over the top rope in there.
Yeah, the referee had to make the call, and he called it right both times. Both falls have ended with people over the top rope.
We got more action, plenty of time. We'll be back to it in a moment.
Well, we're ready to try it again after two falls, one fall apiece.
Bell time. I was looking at referee Jerry Calhoun, and I know a lot of people get irritated when I defend the referees, Dave. But, you know, he had that kind of lost look in his eyes because both sides are on top of him right now in between the falls, and they're both eating him out about making calls wrong and this and that. You can't win as a referee.
I suspect Jim Dalton feels like he can't win either. Lawler came off the ropes there and nailed him. Steve Kern in there after the tag. Count of 2 on Dalton. This Dalton's a mean one. He's been around before in this area. He's a veteran. And boy, I want to tell you, big guy. He's the biggest man in the six-man match. He weighs in at 241. He is just tagged out. It's Chick Donovan, the Golden Boy, against Steve Kern.
Donovan is a strange kind of a guy, isn't he, Dave?
Yeah, he is. Listen to him talk, and I think he's determined to do one thing, and that's win for Chick Donovan, and that's about it. Donovan with Steve Kern. Ooh, kind of a modified head scissors, but he's not going to keep him there long. Dutch Mantell keeps working on him, and the Dutchman intends to do just that. No, he doesn't. He goes to the corner, makes the tag. And Lawler comes in.
Referee jumps on Lawler by using a right fist.
Ooh, Lawler on a drop with that fist. Donovan had moved out of the way, and Lawler hit the mat. Chick Donovan. Lawler goes through the ropes. He didn't go over the top one. He's hanging on out on the apron. Dutch Mantell coming around the side there to make sure that Jimmy Hart and Kevin Sullivan stay out of it, while Lawler is outside the ropes onto the ring apron. Jim Dalton grabs him as he steps back in the ring. Chick Donovan with Lawler in the air. Puts a body slam on him. 2 minutes, 15 seconds gone in the third fall.
As they say, Donovan on a roll right now with Lawler. He's pounding on him. Donovan going to the rope. Over in the corner, the referee telling him to get down, and he's planning on coming down. But he missed and hit flat on his face, Dave.
He was going to try the splash, and he came up with a belly buster instead. Kevin Sullivan in there. Oh, he grabs Lawler. nose, raked his fingers across there. Sullivan using the right fist.
Look at here.
Lawler just picks him up, takes him to the corner. Made the tag on Dutch Mantell. Sullivan heads back to the corner, and he tags Jim Dalton. Whoa. Lawler tried his best to get Mantell and Sullivan in there at the same time again. Sullivan was having none of it. Dutch Mantell.
Some of that meanness you were talking about in Dalton, baby.
Yeah, he fired Mantell right into those turnbuckles, and the Dutchman hit hard. Fired across the ring. Oh, into the turnbuckles again. Those turnbuckles are wrapped. Boy, still tough to go in there under those turnbuckles. Fired in there like Dutchman was. Sullivan now gets to work on Dutch Mantell after Dutch has been worked over by Dalton. That's the Lawler trying to hold Sullivan in there. Not let him head for the refuge of the corner and attack on his partners. Mantell working on Sullivan, Lawler on Dalton, Steve Kern on Chick Donovan. Lawler head for heart. Out of hand, stop match, the referee says. This fall, anyway, is over. The action is not. Donovan, Sullivan, Jim Dalton down on the floor now. It's Dutch Mantell, Lawler.
Stopping it.
And Steve Kern still in the ring, but the referee, Jerry Calhoun, has stopped it.
We're going to take a break.
Out of control, stop. 4 minutes, 14 seconds. No winner in that fall. It's still one apiece.
Yeah, so it comes out just the way it was before that fall started, and if they had 10 more falls, it may end up the same way because of the kind of attitude. Okay, D. David, let's take a break right here. We'll check our time, be back, see if we got any time for another fall. Okay, more of the action on Channel 3's Championship Wrestling coming up in just a moment. 3 dates: Thursday, June the 25th, Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Friday, June the 26th, Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. And Thursday, July the 16th, Paoli, Indiana. More about that later. That's a long way off. Now, Tuesday's not so long way off. A pile driver match, handicap. Nightmares and Jimmy Hart against Jerry the King Lawler and the Dream Machine. And an AWA Southern Tag Team Championship match. Steve Kern, Dutch Mantell together, going against Kevin Sullivan, Wayne Ferris, with Jimmy Hart at ringside if he survives the pile driver match.
Well, let me just say this right now, Jerry Lawler. I've got two of the greatest wrestlers in the world with me and my family. We'll be watching the match. I promise you this right now. I'm going to stick your head where the sun don't shine and give you the biggest pile driver that you've ever had in your life, brother.
I want to see it, and we'll be there to look at it Tuesday night. I also want to see, after what happened, as the folks saw today on television with Wayne Ferris and Dutch Mantell, Steve Kern, I want to see that challenge. I feel like you guys are going to be under some real fire.
Real fire. Let me tell you about those two shell-shocked idiots. You know, Dutch Mantell, I'm not going to say that he's ugly, but as a kid, the only way they could get the family dog to play with him was tie a bone around his neck. That's what kind of person he is. Steve Kern, he doesn't have the brains God gave a goose. What we're after is, right now, boys, I want to tell you this. Now, listen real clear. This is the first family. This is Agamemnon. If you're not with us, you're going to suffer the consequences. Bill Dundee suffered the consequences. He's walking around putting preparation on his H on his neck. We drove his head so far down the mat. Well, Steve Kern, Dutch Mantell, you can't run and hide from Pretty Boy and myself. Pretty Boy, tell them what we're going to do up in Louisville.
When you climb in the ring with us, Lance Russell, you better climb in there to fight. Nobody knows that more than Dutch Mantell does, but I don't think Steve Kern understands that, because if he did, he'd have never buddied up with that shell-shocked idiot from Vietnam.
Tuesday night, Louisville Gardens, you'll have a chance.
My, how time flies when you're having fun. Boy, that was some kind of skedaddling, but our time's out right in there, Davey.
In the opening match today, Wayne Ferris against Dutch Mantell. Stipulation on this one by Kevin Sullivan was that if Dutch Mantell could beat Wayne Ferris, then he would give him a TV title match. Or get a draw.
Right.
All right. But the match was stopped by the referee because Sullivan jumped in about the same time Roy Rogers jumped in. So Sullivan said that didn't count.
true.
And therefore, he would not give Dutch Mantell a TV title match today. Then, the expiration of time match, the six-man match, all kinds of action. Chick Donovan, Kevin Sullivan, Jim Dalton against Lawler, Steve Kern, and Dutch Mantell. It was one fall apiece, both of them due to people being thrown over the top rope. And then the third fall stopped because it was completely out of hand. So the referee said, got to stop it right here. No official winner.
I got kind of a kick when the referee came over to us, and he said, after all that going on, he said, it's getting out of hand. Let's stop it. For Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of championship wrestling.